Watched by more Arkansans than any other station, we're KATV Channel 7, the spirit of Arkansas. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
One of President Clinton's closest advisors is now an unindicted co-conspirator in the second Whitewater trial. Good evening. I'm Karen Fuller. Chris May is off tonight. A year ago, prosecutors notified Bruce Lindsay that he was the target of an investigation into Bill Clinton's 1990 gubernatorial campaign. An indictment against Lindsay never materialized. But today, defense attorneys confirmed prosecutors will place Lindsay in the alleged conspiracy charge against two Perryville bankers. Channel 7's David Schuster has our story.
In count 2 of the indictment, prosecutors say Herbie Branscombe and Robert Hill conspired to keep cash withdrawals from the Internal Revenue Service. Bruce Lindsay received the money from the defendant's Perry County Bank and says he used the cash, $50,000, to help get out the vote for the 1990 Clinton campaign.
I didn't conspire with anybody. I had no discussions with anyone about not filing CTRs that to suggest that I would have conspired with someone to not file a document with the IRS that is a secret document that is not subject to freedom of information, and then immediately turn around and disclose publicly in Arkansas the exact same expenditure is just ridiculous.
But by naming Bruce Lindsay as an unindicted co-conspirator, prosecutors will be allowed to introduce testimony about conversations between Lindsay and the star prosecution witness, Bank President Neil Ainley. Such hearsay statements are usually prohibited. Last year, Ainley admitted intercepting bank mail in order to hide the Clinton campaign transactions from the IRS.
Frankly, I see this as just another effort that I've maintained all along, that independent counsel is going to go out of their way to vicariously put the 1990 Clinton campaign on trial, and I think this is just another indication that they're going to try to do that.
At the White House, President Clinton said he will stand by his longtime friend and noted prosecutors decided not to indict Lindsay a year ago.
He was thoroughly investigated and not charged with ample opportunities. I've got lots of confidence in him. I'm confident he didn't do anything wrong.
Bruce Lindsay will likely get to make the case himself on the witness stand. But before prosecutors and defense attorneys can start presenting testimony, jury selection must be completed. Another 20 Arkansans made it through another round of questioning today. Attorneys on both sides predict a final jury panel will be seated by tomorrow afternoon. Karen?
All right, David Schuster live from the federal courthouse tonight. In other news tonight, he's been arrested, he's been charged, and tonight he's calling it quits. Saline County prosecutor Dan Harmon has spent the past few months on the other side of the law. Today in Benton, he went before a judge in what may be one of the last chapters in the Dan Harmon saga. Pamela Smith is in Benton tonight and was there when the news came out earlier today. Pam.
Karen, Special Judge H.H. Singleton had these words to say to Dan Harmon after he made his decision today. He says, "It is a sad day in your life. It is a sad day in this county. And when all of the smoke clears, I hope you will have the opportunity to get your life back." After the 45-minute hearing, Harmon left the courtroom without saying a word to reporters. Now, his attorney did, however, said that his client had been vindicated. Apparently, Harmon and Special Prosecutor Paul Basson reached some sort of agreement on Monday that allowed Harmon to enter a negotiated plea. Now, the charges of abducting his ex-wife, Holly Duvall, were dismissed. He pleaded no contest to attacking newspaper reporter Rodney Bowers. He pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct for attacking two Saline County officers. Harmon was fined $750 in all and forced to tender his resignation. He has to be out of office by September 1.
Well, I'm satisfied with the charges that we had filed against him being reduced to disorderly conduct due to the fact that he pled guilty to it. He did admit that he did assault the officers while in our jail. I am satisfied with the resignation. I think it's time that Saline County is not embarrassed anymore by our prosecutor. We have a job to do. We want to continue our job. I wish personally that the resignation would have been dated July the 1st, but we'll accept what the prosecutor has handed down.
The resignation of Mr. Harmon, I think, is what we wanted. You know, it's just too bad it couldn't have been sooner.
We wished it was tomorrow morning, but September the 1st won't come soon enough.
Of course, those were the two officers reportedly attacked by Dan Harmon. As for Holly Duvall, Prosecutor Paul Basson says she and her family agreed to the arrangements that were made today. Karen?
All right, Pamela Smith live from the Saline County Courthouse tonight. A would-be burglar was caught in a most compromising position. Pine Bluff police got a call around 5:10 this morning. Someone said they heard a man yelling for help. They arrived at the Radio Shack store in Jefferson Square to find 34-year-old Eugene Stacker stuck in the air conditioning vent. A rescue team had to pull him out with grease and a rope. Stacker claims he was just looking around, but police found a water hose dropped down in the vent.
You kind of hear all kinds of strange events that happen in law enforcement, but this is something sort of strange and unique for this part of the country, for someone to get stuck in a vent and then holler for help.
Stacker was treated at a local hospital for an injured back. Police then took him into custody. Stacker's being held at the Jefferson County Detention Center, and police tell us he faces an attempted burglary charge. This is the second day of bad news from local grocery stores. Kroger Food Stores is shutting down their North Little Rock distribution center. Company headquarters in Cincinnati say they'll consolidate its operations in a new facility to be built later this year in Memphis. So far, 115 people will lose their jobs, but there is a possibility of transfer within the company. We will take a break here, but still to come, we'll profile another one of Arkansas's most wanted. And in our Crime Stoppers report, see if you can identify two women who use a baby as an accomplice for shoplifting. And Ned Permy is kicking off our first one-tank trip of the year. Tonight, he's on Lake Hamilton. Ned?
The first one of the 96 season, as we have picked a beautiful place to start, Lake Hamilton and the Hot Springs area, where there's a lot to do for you and your family this summer. So we'll be back in just a second. Stay with us.
Channel 7 News at 6. Brought to you by Landers, by Mercantile Bank, and by Brandon House Furniture.
In the innocent eyes of a child, while thinking about their dreams.
Child abduction affects hundreds of thousands of children each year.
The next time you see a picture of a missing daughter or son, study the image.
Use to make a difference in a child's recovery. After all, their future is in our hands.
This message was brought to you by Lander. Together, we can help win this battle.
Well, I have a certain vision for my orthodontic practice, and I feel like the bank not only believes in me, I also feel like they share the same vision.
Mercantile Bank's professional services mean a lot to Dr. Mil Colazzo.
They've helped me get started here, and now they're helping me to build a new building. That's why I not only have my personal account there, I have my business account there. And I've just felt like the bank has been beside me every step of the way as I've continued to grow.
Brandon House is having a store-wide half-price plus sale on quality furniture like this sofa and love seat. Both pieces only $4.95.
And this all-leather sofa features solid construction that will last for years. Not this leather vinyl combo stuff with car seat spring construction.
As one of Brandon's certified designers, I know my clients love Henry-Don, and these are the best prices on Henry-Don I've ever seen.
See these values in Arkansas's best furniture selection in Little Rock or Hot Springs. Put some Brandon House in your house.
When the world is a blur, so is their reading. When sounds are unclear, so is their singing. Well Child Checkups uncovered vision and hearing problems in these kids before kindergarten, before it affected their performance. Yearly Well Child Checkups are the key to early diagnosis and treatment. Music may be their future. Maybe not. But with regular Well Child Checkups, they'll always be in tune. Call your doctor or health clinic today. Do it because you love them.
You're watching Channel 7 News at 6 with Karen Fuller, Chris May, Ned Permy with weather, and Paul Eels on sports.
In this week's Crime Stoppers report, a shoplifting turns into a robbery at a local convenience store. At first glance, you might not call shoplifting a very serious crime, but police say it's the way it was committed that has them worried. This is the Easy Mart convenience store at 4400 West Markham Street. Last Tuesday, a pair of women are seen pushing a baby stroller through the store, shopping as they go. Store employees quickly suspect the pair of shoplifting items and stowing them away in the baby's stroller. You can see one of the store's employees removing items, lining them up on the shelf, as a scuffle breaks out with one of the women just off camera. The baby is in the middle of it all. Both women leave, with one throwing a bottle back into the store. Here's the only decent shot of the suspects captured by the store's surveillance camera.
We're very concerned about this. This child could have been hurt. We do not like children being used in crimes. funds as decoys or attractions or whatever means they may be there for. This was a shoplifting where they stole very minor items, just a few dollars, but when the suspect employed force on the store employee, it became a case of robbery.
Tonight's most wanted suspect may be linked to recent robberies in West Little Rock. 18-year-old Theodore Huffman is described as 6'1", weighing 160 pounds. Callers who saw our Crime Stopper story last week on the robberies called police and gave them information leading to Huffman. If you know anything about the Crime Stoppers robbery or Theodore Huffman, call the confidential hotline at 371-INFO. Your information could be worth up to $1,000. There is a threat of severe weather in the state. Ned will have the latest on that when we come back.
If you drive one of these, fill up with Fina's jet fuel, conveniently located at your favorite airports. But if you drive one of these, fill up with Fina's high-performance gasolines, found just about everywhere else. Fina, performance for a lifetime. Since Fina gasolines can help your car live longer, you might want to plan accordingly. With a Fina credit card, it's helpful, convenient, and made of durable plastic. So like your car, it'll last a long time. Fina, performance for a lifetime.
On some trucks, alloy wheels can run you an extra $1,200, but during Nissan's June Truck Month, there's no extra charge. On some trucks, air conditioning could cost you a cool extra $900. On the Nissan VTP truck, no extra charge. AM/FM stereo could be an extra $275, but listen to this, no extra charge. So get to Nissan's June Truck Month by July 1st, where you'll get a charge out of our trucks and no extra charge out of our features. Visit your local Nissan dealer and see why Nissan is the #1 import truck in Little Rock.
It's a showdown. An auto showdown. Pine Bluff's first ever auto showdown at Pines Mall this weekend. All 7 Pine Bluff dealers in one location. 21 different makes. Over 2,000 cars and trucks. New, used, and programmed. They shut down the prices. They're selling so low that nothing will return to the lots. Financing on the spot. Free cellular phones with every vehicle. Hoof it on down to the auto showdown. This Friday through Sunday at Pines Mall in Pine Bluff.
This new Buick is going to turn some heads.
Introducing the all-new LeSabre by Buick. It's the first of the 97s and the most elegant edition yet of America's premium family car.
It's America's best-selling full-size car.
This new LeSabre has a fluid, more contemporary shape, a host of standard luxury and safety features, and that same award-winning Buick quality. Go beyond the ordinary. Drive the first of the 97s, LeSabre, at your Buick dealer now.
Why settle for anything less?
Ned's one-tank trip took him to Lake Hamilton today. And Ned, you look really good behind the wheel of that boat out there.
I tell you what, this is one of the nicest boats you can be behind the wheel of. It's a 19-foot Mastercraft, and courtesy this afternoon of Just Add Water right across the causeway on Highway 7 in Hot Springs. It's a beautiful boat, and Scott Hayes behind me is my pilot. He's teaching me how to operate this thing. How am I doing?
You're
doing okay, huh?
Just stay away from this wall.
Just stay away from the wall. We're here to celebrate the startup of our one-tank trips. And for those of you who have been with us over the years, what we do is we travel, and we'll be traveling every Wednesday around the state of Arkansas. I'm going to trade places with you here. Scott, let you bring it in. Every Wednesday, we're going to be traveling around the state of Arkansas to some different places that you and your family can go to and enjoy and get there. Tank of gas, and we're starting in a real nice place this time right here at beautiful Lake Hamilton. As I mentioned, we're at Just Add Water, a sales and service dealership here, and if you're not into buying boats and you'd like to come down here and just try it out, Scott, thank you very much. I'll be back with you in a second. If you'd like to try out the boating scene or the jet ski scene or parasailing or pontoon boats, they also have another place right next door that you can rent. It's called Water Toys, and it's a great place. We've had a great time being here on Lake Hamilton this afternoon. And the Hot Springs area is just one of my favorite places in the state. Of course, over the years, I've got so many of them, but I love to come down here and hope that you and your family will get the opportunity to make it down here sometime this summer and spend a few days or even an afternoon with one tank, get down and back. There's so much to do. You can ride the ducks. You can go to the national park. And this week, something special going on. Of course, that's the Miss Arkansas pageant. And by the way, it starts tonight. Our photographer, Sandy King, is here with me, and he's going to be hanging out there. You'll see him a lot on and off over the next several days until Saturday. And so we are here, and of course our one-tank trips are sponsored by the great folks at FINA, and they'll be with us all season long throughout the summer months every Wednesday, and we're going to be going to some fantastic places. Hope you join us. As Karen mentioned, we do have a slight risk of some showers and thunderstorms that could become strong, especially over eastern Arkansas, and that's where there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Not as many counties as earlier. Some of the counties have been taken out. Right now, just extreme eastern Arkansas are where the problem areas are, and that's where most of the thunderstorm activity is. And you can see the watch area shaded in blue on your screen, and that until 8 o'clock tonight. Most of these thunderstorms will begin to die out after we lose the effects of the sun. Current temperature downtown at the Weather Center is 85 degrees. The humidity at 61%. Barometric pressure is steady. Wind southeast at 6 miles an hour. We have partly sunny skies. High of 90. Low last night, 73. It's summertime, friends. Just a trace of rainfall since midnight last night. There's the sunrise and sunset times for you. Believe it or not, Jonesboro got up to 105 degrees last hour. They're down to 97 as the clouds and showers are moving in through eastern Arkansas right now. Still 101 down at Texarkana, and 96 at West Memphis, 97 degrees at Helena, and again downtown 85 degrees. Our satellite photograph shows two areas of concern. One, you can see right over Arkansas. You see that swirling counterclockwise rotation. That's upper level cold low pressure area, a pocket of cold air in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's moved over very warm and unstable surface temperatures in Arkansas, and that's been fueling some of the thunderstorms throughout the afternoon hours. And the other area is in the Atlantic section, the mid-Atlantic primarily, where we have Tropical Storm Arthur. Although it's a minimal tropical storm, winds only about 40 to 42 miles an hour, and it's just outside of Wilmington, North Carolina right now, moving north-northeast, and it will recurve out toward the Atlantic, but it is bringing in some heavy rains there. Western half of the country in great shape, generally sunny skies. You can see that trough of low pressure through Arkansas from Missouri, and from it through the Ohio Valley is another frontal system helping to enhance thundershower activity all the way from the Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic coast states where flash flood watches are in effect. But over the next several days, high pressure is going to be our dominant weather maker, and as you can see on the map for tomorrow, hot temperatures and sunshine returns. Most of the along the mid-Atlantic coast states. Next, we're at Doppler 7 radar. Just a quick check with that. We can see shower and thunderstorm activity. Most of it in the southeastern sections of Arkansas, primarily, if we could look at that, in Drew and Bradley County, some strong showers down around Ashley and Lincoln County, Arkansas, Monroe, and Phillips. That's where the eastern extension of that low pressure area is and most of the heavy rain. Forecast, though, tonight calls for generally partly cloudy skies. We're going to see scattered thunderstorms mainly in the east, 30% probability, low of 73. And then for tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies and warm, 8 o'clock temperature reading around 78. For tomorrow afternoon, look for partly cloudy skies and about a 20% chance of mainly afternoon and evening thundershowers over the southeastern areas of Arkansas. And the forecast as we move in through tomorrow night, generally fair and warm, low of 75 degrees. And the extended forecast, high pressure builds in, very much summer-like, and that is going to mean only isolated afternoon and evening thundershowers as we move into and right on through the weekend. And it looks like a good weekend anytime in Arkansas, especially when you're on the water like we are today. I'd like to thank the good folks at Just Add Water in Hot Springs, and of course our sponsor FINA for our one-tank trip. Take it away, Scott. We will see you. I'm belted in here and ready to go. We'll see you tonight at 10.
Okay, Ned, have a great time. He never jumps in. Letter carriers are walking the picket line. We'll tell you why coming up.
Imagine reinventing the way people look at cars. Once again, the all-new 1996 Mercury Sable. The best-selling Mercury's been totally reinvented. Good-looking outside with more room than ever inside.
And now, lease Sable for just $249 a month. Or save with low 2.9% APR financing.
Drive Sable at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
If it's just not clear who you can count on for your family's eye care, take a good look at the optical department at Sears. You'll find a great selection of frame styles by famous names like Cheryl Teagues, along with a helpful professional staff ready to take care of all your eye care needs, even contacts, all at great Sears prices. You can even use your Sears Charge or Discover card. So unless you're already seeing 20/20, for optical services you can count on, see you at Sears.
I don't necessarily need climbing gear or hiking boots to get around. I don't always eat granola or sleep under the stars. So why do I need the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee? Well, with its standard 185 horsepower engine, dual airbags, and smooth riding suspension, Grand Cherokee is just as useful for my lifestyle as it is for everyone else's. And I only pay $299 a month for it. So while some are enjoying Grand Cherokee on a mountaintop, I'll be here checking out human nature.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hi folks, David Surdine out at the Central Ford Center, and have I got a deal for you. For a very limited time only, 7.5% financing on every new Ford Explorer and every new Ford truck, including the all-new 97 model. Now, we've got about 100 of these for you to choose from, but folks, you need to hurry. They won't last long. 7.5% financing only at the Central Ford Center. We're just 3 blocks south of UALR, and we'll be looking for you.
Postal letter carriers are hoping an informational picket line got the attention of the Postmaster General. The National Association of Letter Carriers held a one-day picket to voice concern over communication between employees and management. The workers claim management is unresponsive to their ideas.
Management has spent billions of dollars automating the mail, and they are not capturing the possible savings from that. Letter carriers have definite ideas on how to capture those savings, and when we present those ideas and our concerns to management, we're being shut out.
Here in the city, I think that we have a good working relationship with the union. In the state of Arkansas, we don't have any major problems that, I mean, we disagree, but, you know, no two people can not disagree every once in a while. But at the same time, we can still talk to each other.
Management says the automated postal system may have some kinks in it, but it's a lot quicker and more efficient than the old-fashioned way of sorting the mail by hand. Will Orlando's Star Center spend more time in the Sunshine State? Jeff Wingfield reports on Shaq's plans when we come back.
There can only be one winner, and from the win...
This is Ted Koppel. Later on Nightline, celebrities have paid millions to plug the products while kids are paid pennies to make them. The story behind the scandal tonight.
This is Charles Gibson. And Joan London. Tomorrow, they're all different, so how do you raise your youngest, your oldest, and your middle child? The answers in our Good Morning America guide to raising great kids. Tomorrow, here on ABC.
To order a video cassette or transcript of Primetime Live, call 1-800-913-3434.
Primetime is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. The American Broadcasting Company, ABC.
Watched by more Arkansans than any other station, we're KATV Channel 7, the spirit of Arkansas. This is Channel 7 News at 10.
One of President Clinton's closest friends and advisors is now an unindicted co-conspirator in the Whitewater trial. Hello, I'm Karen Fuller. Chris May is off tonight. A year ago, prosecutors notified Bruce Lindsay he was a target of an investigation into Bill Clinton's 1990 gubernatorial campaign. An indictment against Lindsay never materialized, but today defense attorneys confirmed prosecutors will place Lindsay in the alleged conspiracy charge against 2 Perryville bankers. Channel 7's David Schuster has our story.
In count 2 of the indictment, prosecutors say Herbie Branscombe and Robert Hill conspired to keep cash transaction reports from the Internal Revenue Service. Bruce Lindsay received the money from the defendant's Perry County Bank and says he used the cash, $50,000, to help get out the vote for the 1990 Clinton campaign.
It is silly to suggest that I would commit a crime to not file something with the IRS and turn around and immediately file it with the people of Arkansas.
But by naming Bruce Lindsay as an unindicted co-conspirator, prosecutors will be allowed to introduce testimony about conversations between Lindsay and the star prosecution witness, Bank President Neil Ainley. Such hearsay statements are usually prohibited. Last year, Ainley admitted intercepting bank mail in order to hide the Clinton campaign transactions from the IRS.
I've said all along that I feel like they're going to go every way they can to try to drag the president's name into this case. And once again, I think this is just another step in that procedure.
At the White House, President Clinton said he will stand by his longtime friend and noted prosecutors decided not to indict Lindsay a year ago.
He was thoroughly investigated and not charged with ample opportunities. I've got lots of confidence in him. I'm confident he didn't do anything wrong.
Bruce Lindsay will have an opportunity to make the case himself from the witness stand. But before prosecutors and defense attorneys start presenting testimony, jury selection must be completed. Attorneys are expected to submit their strike list on Thursday. Opening arguments could begin Thursday afternoon. David Schuster, Channel 7 News.
For the record, David says Whitewater prosecutors were asked about Bruce Lindsay's status in the Branscombe Hill trial, and they responded, no comment. Since our 6 o'clock news, a Pine Bluff jury has convicted a prison inmate in the death of a correctional officer. It took jurors only 45 minutes tonight to decide that Alvin Jackson stabbed and killed guard Scott Grimes at Cummins Prison. Jackson claimed he was trying to stab another inmate when Grimes stepped between them. Today, jurors got a look at the homemade knife Jackson used in the attack. They also heard from a former guard who saw it happen.
At that point, I seen, like I said, I seen Emmett Jackson get into a defensive stand or a fight stand, whichever you want to call it. And as Sergeant Grimes approached him, he made three stabbing motions toward his chest area.
Jackson was already serving a life sentence for another murder. Tomorrow, jurors will begin deciding if he should receive another life sentence or the death penalty. Jury selection is still moving slowly in the trial of an accused cop killer. Willie Green is charged with shooting Officer Tucker Fisher during a drug raid last year. The jury is going to have to decide whether or not Green knew he was shooting a police officer instead of an intruder. So far, only 8 jurors have been seated, but the trial is supposed to wrap up by the end of this week. Saline, Grant, and Hot Spring counties will be looking for a new prosecutor in the weeks and months to come. Dan Harmon is stepping down. In the past few months, he's been arrested and charged on several counts. While in jail, he went on a hunger strike. Later on, he called a news conference where he unveiled his freshly shaven head. Today in Benton, he went before a judge in what may be one of the last chapters in the Harmon drama. In a negotiated plea arrangement with Special Prosecutor Paul Bassan, Harmon's charges of abducting his ex-wife, Holly Duvall, were dismissed. He pleaded no contest to attacking a newspaper reporter and guilty to disorderly conduct for attacking 2 Saline County officers. He was fined $750 for the latter offenses. Part of the deal includes Harmon leaving office by September 1st.
I am satisfied with the resignation. I think it's time that Saline County is not embarrassed anymore by our prosecutor. We have a job to do. We want to continue our job. I wish personally that the resignation would have been dated July the 1st, but we'll accept what the prosecutor has handed down.
The resignation of Mr. Harmon, I think, is what we wanted. You know, it's just too bad it couldn't have been sooner.
We wished it was tomorrow morning, but September the 1st won't come soon enough.
Prosecutor Bassan says Holly Duvall, her family, and reporter Rodney Bowers all agreed to the arrangement. Harmon had no comment today. A would-be burglar got in a jam, literally. Pine Bluff police got a call around 5:10 this morning from someone who said they heard a man yelling for help from the Radio Shack store roof in Jefferson Square. Officers found 34-year-old Eugene Stacker stuck in the air conditioning vent. A rescue team had to pull him out with grease and a rope. He was taken to a local hospital, then to jail. Police say Stacker faces an attempted burglary charge. Another Arkansas grocery store is in the news tonight. Last night we told you about Harvest Foods declaring bankruptcy. Now the Kroger Company is announcing plans to close their North Little Rock distribution center. The company says it will consolidate the center's operations into a new facility in Memphis. All 115 North Little Rock employees will have the opportunity to apply for jobs at the new facility. There is much more to come tonight on Channel 7 News. Fort Smith is hit again with damaging storms. We'll show you what happened as strong winds whipped through the area last night. And we'll tell you why residents may soon feel a little safer when it comes to the severe weather there. And the weather didn't clear up much today. Ned's been keeping an eye on the radar for us. He joins us now with more. Back from Lake Hamilton.
Most of the thunderstorms have begun to die out tonight. There's still some very strong thunderstorms. You can see behind me, moving in through the southern part of the state, approaching El Dorado and cross it and down through the Lake Village area. They're expected to move out of the state by about midnight, and then the rest of the week is looking pretty good. We'll have the forecast coming up.
Channel 7 News at 10. Brought to you by Simmons First National Bank, by Arkansas Super Chevy Dealers, and by your Central Arkansas Chevrolet Service Centers.
You're number one at our bank because we always put you first. People caring for one another. That's our way at Simmons First. A helping hand, a friendly smile. People who go that extra extra mile. We're Simmons First National Bank. We're putting you first. Is our business.
If you'd like to get to know respect, then get to know GeoPrism. Consumers Digest called GeoPrism a best buy, now for the 4th straight year. And now with the GMAC Smart Buy, Prism is just $199 a month for 35 months with 0 down. It's no wonder 97% of all Prism owners would recommend one to a friend. Get to know GeoPrism today at your Arkansas Super Chevy dealers.
Sometimes it happens. So if your Chevrolet should need repair, know where to take it to get it fixed right. Take it to one of your Central Arkansas Chevrolet service centers. Bell Chevrolet in West Little Rock, Guatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville, Russell Chevrolet in North Little Rock, and Service Chevrolet in Southwest Little Rock. They have the best certified GM technicians and use only genuine GM parts. We're serious about putting service back into the service department. Your Central Arkansas Chevrolet service centers. Genuine GM parts and Mr. Goodrich service. We want your business.
Have you been looking for a new home? McKay & Company Realtors offers a great way to begin your search. Hi, I'm Bobby North, your host for Home Showcase. Our half-hour program is a wonderful way to view many fine properties without having to leave the comfort of your own home. We'll take you on a visual tour throughout the Little Rock area and profile homes in different sizes, styles, and price ranges. What a great way to shop for a home. Join us Saturday mornings at 9 on KATV Channel 7 for McKay & Company's Home Showcase.
You're watching Channel 7 News at 10 with Karen Fuller, Chris May, Ned Fermi with weather, and Paul Eels on sports.
President Clinton has offered $12 million to help fight the Southern church fires. The president met with 7 governors at the White House today to talk about the rash of arsons that have plagued predominantly black churches. Clinton said the focus of the federal effort is to rebuild the burned churches and to catch those responsible for the fires. The president says the evidence does not point to a national conspiracy. The president's top man in emergency relief is working on improving Arkansas's response time. James Lee Witt, the national director for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, met with state and local officials in Hot Springs today. Witt says the recent tornadoes in Arkansas were a good example of officials getting quick results for disaster victims.
They did a damage assessment very quickly. And what that did for Arkansas was to expedite the disaster package, and the president signed it very quickly. So that makes a big difference, but it can't happen unless it's a coordinated effort between state and federal and local.
Several counties were named federal disaster areas, giving them immediate medical and shelter aid for area residents. Storms moved through northwest Arkansas again last night. A line of thunderstorms hit the Fort Smith area, where residents are still repairing earlier damage. High winds ripped off roofs and downed trees in the area. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, and there is more good news. For Fort Smith, a weather radar system for the city will arrive in 1997. That's a year earlier than expected. The Commerce Department says the project was moved up because of this year's severe weather. Ned is up next with a look at our weather tonight and an update on Tropical Storm Arthur. But first, stocks closed mixed today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 20 points. Declining issues led advancers by 4 to 3.
Here's your wake-up call, nature lover.
If that didn't work, try this. Now, for only $179 a month, get a classic Jeep Cherokee with 190 horsepower, automatic transmission, quadra-link suspension, and driver's airbag, all for only $179 a month, including air at no charge. Now, if that didn't wake you up, try this. See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Thanks to Sprint Business, there's a company that makes more flowers pop up instantly all over the world.
Sprint helps us grow faster.
Because FTD uses Sprint's global data network, now florists transmit orders instantly between 143 countries. So, FTD processes flower arrangements in half the time.
And business has blossomed all over the world.
We'll help your business do more business. Call Sprint Business.
veterinarian for new Advantage. Advantage. Don't give fleas a biting chance.
Why do Arkansas families choose Tim Parker's over all the rest?
We're a new and young family, and we needed dependable vehicles, and they seem to give us the fairest deal.
At other dealerships, I felt like I was somewhat being taken advantage of, being female, but at Tim Parker's, I felt like they realized, they assessed my needs and then my income and all, and then they addressed that.
Quality products and honest values. That's the Parker promise. The promise you can depend on.
Ned is back from the lake. What are you giggling about?
Well, I'm giggling because you keep looking back there looking at radar. You're going to make sure it's a quiet night tonight.
And can we sleep? That's what I asked Ned.
Yeah. Well, we've got some pretty strong thunderstorms still rumbling around southern Arkansas, moving in through El Dorado and Crossett and south of Warren, Hermitage. And they're going to move out of the state by about midnight, and then the rest of the night should be just quiet as can be, so no problems tonight. We had a hot day today. Most of the readings around the state were very warm, and of course, we had showers and thunderstorms, some of which Karen just showed you, that moved into the state around the Fort Smith area, north central Arkansas overnight. They died down and then blew up again today with another upper-level low-pressure system, and most of that activity was in eastern Arkansas, but luckily no real significant reports of any severe weather. Some strong thunderstorms in White and Lonoke County up around Guy. They had some very strong thunderstorms producing some heavy rain, but things are going to quiet down after the southern Arkansas storms move out tonight. 81 degrees are reading at this hour, and by the way, our tropical storm that we told you about last night, well, it was short-lived. It has died down, excuse me, to a tropical depression tonight, and it just kind of skirted the outer banks of the Carolinas. We'll take a peek at that in a moment. 90 was our high. Hottest heat index reading throughout the day today. As I reported from the Fort Smith area, I'm sorry, not from Fort Smith, from Lake Hamilton, the temperature at Jonesboro, I reported 105 degrees. That was actually the heat index reading this afternoon, and Texarkana had a heat index reading of 101 degrees, but they're creeping up. 90 was our high temperature today. 73 last night's low reading. All the temperatures around Arkansas at this hour are in the mid to upper 70s and low 80s. 80 degrees at West Memphis, 78 at Helena, Jonesboro, 79, down from their heat index reading of 105 degrees today. 80 degrees still hanging on to Texarkana, 79 at Hot Springs where I was today as we kicked off the one-tank trips. As we move in through the summer months, we're going to be moving to different locations, great locations around the state for you and your family to go and visit. And usually they'll only take a tank of gas to get there and get back. Well, here's what we had for today, this afternoon. Actually, we'll show you starting last night. Watch the thunderstorms right there, blowing up, moving through the Fort Smith area, north central Arkansas, dying down, and then blowing up again this afternoon. It's associated with an upper-level low-pressure system, and what that means, again, is a pool of cold air in the upper atmosphere. And the cold air is working around a large area of high pressure. It's been very cold all week in the northwestern United States. And, of course, cold air moving around this high-pressure area, around the perimeter, sinks southward. Each one of these systems passing across Arkansas, touching off showers and thunder showers as well. The low-pressure area is going to move away from Arkansas toward the northeast tonight. And, by the way, here's the remnants of Arthur. You can't see a whole lot of circulation there as far as rain is concerned, though. It has been heavy. Arthur has been located between Wilmington, North Carolina, and Cape Hatteras, North Carolina tonight. It's been an eerie, cloudy day, but it's been great for the surfers. Kicked up a lot of waves around Myrtle Beach throughout the day today, and it has brought anywhere between 4 and 5 inches of rain to the coastal areas of the Mid-Atlantic and into Washington, D.C. and Virginia. Some heavy rains and some flash flooding problems, but for the most part, Arthur was very weak, and it's going to continue to move away from the coastline, starting to drift on toward the northeast starting tomorrow. Showers and thunder showers you just saw on radar, concentrated over the eastern half of the nation. That's where they will be tomorrow. And, of course, the remnants of Arthur continues to move on toward the northeast. And for us, big system moving in, high pressure building and bubbling in the atmosphere over the central and southern plain states, gradually moving into Arkansas. And what that means very simply is a very stable weather pattern, little or no rain expected as we move into and through the weekend, but hot temperatures are going to be with us as well. Readings tomorrow well into the 90s over most all locations in Arkansas. Forecast tonight revised a bit, and this is why. Next Red Doppler 7 radar, we'll take another quick peek at it if we could. and we'll show you the showers in southern Arkansas. But notice they are drifting gradually toward the southeast, about 25 miles an hour. Heaviest down around El Dorado, south of Smackover, south of Hermitage, and moving toward Crossett. These should move out of the region by midnight tonight. Back to the forecast. Overnight low drops around 73. Thunder showers over the south and southeast, ending by or shortly after midnight tonight. Then partly cloudy and warm tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, 20% chance of thunder showers redeveloping in the southeastern sections. High, a hot 95. Fair skies, warm tomorrow night with a low of 75 degrees. And the extended forecast Friday all the way through next Wednesday. High pressure is going to be in charge. The only thing that we will see, Karen, are isolated afternoon and evening thunder showers. So there goes the forecast. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, scattered to isolated afternoon and evening thunder showers. Highs will remain in the mid-90s, actually, and lows will remain in the 70s as well. We had a great time for our one-tank trip in Hot Springs tonight. We got a great sponsor this year for the one tanks. That's FINA from Arkansas. And, of course, we'd like to thank all the great folks in Hot Springs. Just Add Water.
Just Add Water
and Water Toys down there on Highway 7. They were real gracious to us.
Nice day out there. Okay. Thank you, Ned. This week's Crime Stoppers report was about a case of shoplifting. We'll have that and also tonight's most wanted suspect. Stay with us.
Dodge Ram is number 1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. Number 1 in horsepower. Number 1 in torque. Even number 1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is number 1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are number 1 in sales growth. Come see number 1 Dodge Ram at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
I'm Leslie Basham. For some time now, I've been telling you about Landers and what a great value a new or previously owned vehicle can be. Equally important are the attitudes and ethics of the dealer and his employees. These qualities must be beyond reproach. At Landers, credibility is extremely important to us. If we tell you something, that's the way it is. We won't mislead you. Just shop Landers and you'll truly understand why after all these years, character and reputation still makes a difference.
Hey, you know Matthew's daddy. He's that tall, skinny guy who coaches baseball. My dad's job is really dangerous. It is not. It is so. He has to wear a hard hat every day. Yeah, you that much hate going to work. Are you kidding me? They even gave him his own truck with a computer in it. A computer? Can we see it? Nope, it's top secret. So what does your dad do anyway? He lights up the whole town.
This new Buick is going to turn some heads.
Introducing the all-new LeSabre by Buick. It's the first of the 97s and the most elegant edition yet of America's premium family car.
It's America's best-selling full-size car.
This new LeSabre has a fluid, more contemporary shape, a host of standard luxury and safety features, and that same award-winning Buick quality. Go beyond the ordinary. Drive the first of the 97s, LeSabre, at your Buick dealer now.
Why settle for anything less?
This week's Crime Stoppers report began with shoplifting, but then the suspects made a move that would turn this crime into a more serious charge. This is the Easy Mart convenience store at 4400 West Markham Street. Last Tuesday, a pair of women are seen pushing a baby stroller through the store, shopping as they go. Store employees quickly suspect the pair of shoplifting items and stowing them away in the baby's stroller. You can see one of the store's employees removing items, lining them up on the shelf, as a scuffle breaks out with one of the women just off camera. The baby is in the middle of it all. Both women leave, with one throwing a bottle back into the store. Here's the only decent shot of the suspects captured by the store's surveillance camera.
We're very concerned about this. This child could have been hurt. We do not like children being used in crimes as decoys or attractions or whatever means they may be there for. This was a shoplifting where they stole very minor items, just a few dollars, but when the suspect employed force on the store employee, it became a case of robbery.
Tonight's most wanted suspect may be linked to recent robberies in West Little Rock. 18-year-old Theodore Huffman is described as 6'1", weighing 160 pounds. Callers who saw our Crime Stopper story last week on the robberies called police and gave them information leading to Huffman. If you know anything about the Crime Stoppers robbery, or if you know where Theodore Huffman is tonight, call the confidential hotline at 371-INFO. Your information could be worth up to $1,000. Coming up next in sports, the Locomotives come back home. Jeff Wingfield will tell us how they did. And some bad news for Major League Baseball fans. One of the game's biggest stars is hanging up his cap. That story after this.
There can only be one winner, and from the winner of the 1996 North American Car of the Year Award comes the sale of the year, the National Chrysler Sale. Choose from all these award-winning Chryslers. Get $1,000 cash back on the Sporty Cirrus, APR as low as 1.9% on Chrysler Concord, and $3,000 cash back on the luxurious Chrysler LHS. For a limited time during the National Chrysler Sale, only at your Chrysler dealer.
We're looking forward to summer at your Baseline Walmart. We have everything you'll want for the sunny weather.
Our swimsuits are here. Find the perfect one. We have plenty to choose. And protect your skin with our large assortment of sunscreens and lotions.
We have picnic supplies and snacks, sports equipment, beach towels, everything you need, all in one convenient stop. Come see us at your Baseline Walmart.
We're ready for summer.
You know Brandon House for quality and selection. Now discover our prices. Take your choice of these contemporary Gulf Coast lamps at only $39.
We think this queen-size cherry sleigh bed is a value at $498. While they last, they're only $361.
There's not another furniture store in the Mid-South that offers this large, practical sofa sectional with 2 recliners for only $575.
Find these values at our half-price flash sale in Little Rock and Hot Springs. Put some Brandon House in your house.
On the next home improvement, look out, Julia Tiles.
Ready for the cooking debut.
Here comes
Tim doesn't know gumbo from Dumbo Taylor.
the main course.
We put Al's mom in the pot, we'd have jumbo gumbo.
And for dessert,
Another cooker snoogie? I mean a booger cookie?
you won't believe what these two are cooking up.
Nothing says bonjour better than duck.
On Home Improvement.
Tonight at 10:30 on Channel 7.
Some local baseball going on tonight. Jeff?
Yeah, down in Pine Bluff, good and bad news from the Locomotives. We'll begin with baseball this evening, and the Pine Bluff Locomotives rained out last night in Pine Bluff, but tonight, play ball. It's the doubleheader. The Locomotives hosting Columbia Mules this evening. We'll start Locos pitcher Steve Allison, third baseman Jake Russell got their signals crossed a little bit trying to run down a bunt. So the guy got on. Pine Bluff shortstop Wes Sims a little bit later pops a good one to right center. That would score Ryan Richardson, and the Locomotives are on the scoreboard. 2 batters later, Tom McKinnon lays down an easy one to the Columbia third baseman. Oops, it's Class A baseball. Locomotives added the run, and they also added something new to the souvenir stand today. Their baseball cards are in. Pick up the whole pack for $8. You never know how far some of these guys can go. Pine Bluff won the first game 3-1. 5th inning of the second game, and Columbia is leading big 10-0. Here in town, the Arkansas Travelers, a 6-2 win over Tulsa. Still with Cardinals, ask anyone who is vaguely familiar with St. Louis, who is the most recognized as a Redbird. Most, if not all, would say Ozzie Smith. Today, Ozzie said it's time to hang up the cleats. Known for his grand entrance with the cartwheel and the backflip, Ozzie would then amaze fans with his superb defensive skills, coming up with plays almost magically, thus the nickname The Wizard. Ozzie said today that he felt in his heart it was time to quit. So after this season, Smith will move to the front office in some capacity after 19 years in the majors. 14 All-Star games, 13 Gold Glove Awards, numerous Major League records. Ozzie has spent most of this season as a backup on the bench. Scores in the Major League tonight, Atlanta and St. Louis both winners. L.A. and Cincinnati also winners on the visitors' side. Colorado 7-6 over Montreal. The Mets and Pittsburgh, they split a doubleheader tonight. Over in the American League, rain got the Yankees and the Minnesota game. Oakland, big numbers over Detroit. KC doubles Milwaukee. California by 12 over Chicago. Rain has Cleveland and Boston in the 7th inning. Cleveland leading 10-0. And Texas won over Baltimore 3-2. Some former and current Razorbacks trying to make it to the Olympics today as the Olympic trials continue.